Welcome to the Asset Channel, where we'll be talking about the news behind the news. So, Bye, what's going on?
Yeah, well, there's been a lot of movements in the financial services industry now. New appointments, people moving from one bank to another.
I noticed the transaction banking particularly. We're seeing
Yes, that's
quite
right,
a lot
yeah.
of changes going on, right?
Exactly. So what do you think of that? How do you think that affects the industry in general and these banks in particular?
What we could say for sure is that there seems to be some kind of a revival. There's been quite a bit of restructuring over the last few years. All the banks were very internally focused. But now, as we see more hirings, that suggests that perhaps that whole process is now at its end, and maybe they're looking towards a growth model. What do you think?
Well, even like banks are starting to consolidate, and then the consolidation is finally bearing fruit. I guess one issue I have with that is that it's very difficult to keep track of people now, right? So they're with one bank one day, and then they're with another bank the next day. So, and then of course there's some vacuums on the banks where they left. I mean, then these banks have to scramble around and find replacements. So
that's for sure. That's for sure. Major movements going on. Let's look at some of them, right?
Yes,
of course, at Citi, we saw that Alan Lin has moved over to Standard Chartered. That is a big move. I think it's a big loss. I think for Citi, and they will have to try to figure out what the strategy will be for North Asia, especially China, which is an important market overall for transaction banking.
Yes.
Who else have we seen?
Well, Ying from Deutsche Bank.
Ying Tan, on security services,
security services, moving from Deutsche to Standard Chartered. That's a big score for Standard Chartered, if I may say that. And the big loss for Deutsche also, since Ying did a lot of work in terms of building that business in Asia.
She was with Deutsche Bank for 23 years, so that's a major move, major career change for Ying. So we wish her well as well at Stanchart. Over at the local banks, we've also seen some movements, right? For example, DBS Bank has been building out quite aggressively. The most recent hire was Greg Trotman from HSBC.
Yes.
Now, you and I know that DBS's transaction banking is headed by John Lawrence, who used to be with HSBC, and they've actually now started to build out a lot of their activity.
So it seems that John is pirating HSBC people and moving them to DBS, right?
Yeah. Another good friend of ours is, of course, Ralph Latif, who was with Cash Management HSBC.
Yes.
Subsequently with DBS, heading their digital initiative, which should be quite an interesting move to watch and see how it's going to build out on that.
Yeah, DBS seems to have to be really on a hiring spree, right? So, and they're really, well, DBS and Standard Chartered, these are regional banks, but it seems that they're really trying to build themselves into global banks now, from what we've seen of the hires that they've been doing recently.
Well, at least what we call upscaling of
talent,
and I think that will continue. So, we'll find out what happens next week, and we'll keep track and keep everyone informed on the news behind the news. Thank you for joining us at the Asset Channel.
And if you like videos like this, please subscribe, click that button down there, and then we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.
Thank you.